You see, the sin in the son was not the shifting of the business, but it was in the heart with which he looked at his brother. You see, for in the 10 commandments that God gives, there's only one that deals with the N-word. And no, it's not idolatry. And it's obviously not murder or lying or stealing. And it's even not honoring or keeping the Sabbath. No. Of all the commands that God gives, there's only one that we don't instantly regard. One that deals with the outflow of the heart. One thing that God asks us not to do that we compulsively and obsessively adhere to. It's covetousness. See, many of our minds will attempt to exonerate us from the guilt of this, but we're all defendants, and only a judge can justify the accused. Think about it. This culture of coveting keeps clearly killing our contentment, which our character currently consists of. We're bred and we're raised to want more and more and more and more. Where our hearts are little shops of horrors, and these machines in our pockets are proof of this. These commercials keep on pandering to our coveting. We always want what the people we worship, I mean honor. We want what they have because we think that that's honor. What exactly do you think a brand is? It's a badge of honor. See, conjointly, we covet each other's callings. We look and we lust after the stage and the mic and the lights and the accolade and the acclaim. We have an entire generation, my contemporaries, chasing the spotlight and failing in heartbreak when that was never their calling in the first place. At the risk of sounding elitist, I'll say it. Not everyone's called to the stage. We're a body. And no one wants to be the feet. Everyone wants to be the face or the mouth. But the problem with that is, the body can't move without the feet, the lowest and humblest member. Did you know that looking at another man's wife, lusting isn't a sin? Within the scope of the Old Testament, 10 commandments, it's not adultery. It's coveting. Ultimately, the sin of covetousness says, what I have isn't enough. I want more. It's greed, saying what the Lord has provided you with is not enough. And ultimately, that's the problem, isn't it? The Lord isn't enough. You see, when you give in to coveting, you create a dissatisfaction within yourself for your season, for your life, and for God that you can never quench. It's like a cancer slowly eroding away the cells of your joy and your peace. Covetousness is the spring of many sins, like an unholy fountain with pride at the well. You covet a relationship, you'll fall into adultery. You covet material possession, you'll steal and you'll lie to get it. You covet popularity, you'll dishonor. And comparatively, anything you covet is close kin to an idol. Covetousness is pride. For you say your want exceeds the capability of God's provision. Covetousness is the desire that always leads to sin. What then is our solution? What's our answer? What's the solution to this problem? Covetousness. You're not going to like it because it's not clever or poetic. It's just true. It's contentment. Is Jesus enough for your life? Is God enough even if you were to just die? Well, that's not easy. That requires trust. But I will ask, is your God not big enough? Does he not set the sun himself? Does he not quiet the winds as they swell? Is he not the beginning and the end? And though he's the Lord of existence, is he not our closest friend? For if our Lord is good, why would he not sustain his created favorites? He made us and he loves us. We're the rhythm of his heart's cadence. We've been indoctrinated by the system of this world not to believe that. But he's a good shepherd. We shall never want and will never lack. Conclusively, the cure to covetousness isn't considerably complicated. It's knowing in all stages that the love of Jesus will sustain his created. In forgiving and washing of this sin of covetousness, his blood is always sufficient. And finally, his love, his grace is always sufficient.